You may have asked yourself, how can I know if God is speaking to me? Amid the complexities and challenges of life, we often seek answers and divine guidance to lead us. The good news is that God is constantly communicating with us, using different means to convey messages and direction. In this video, we will explore ways to recognize divine signs in your life and understand how God manifests himself. Get ready for a journey of spiritual discovery and a deeper connection with the divine. How to know if God is speaking to me? When it comes to understanding God's communication, it is important to cultivate an open mind and heart. Pay attention to the following signs and be willing to interpret them personally, as each individual has a unique relationship with the divine. Want to know if God is speaking to you? Here are some ways to identify it. 1. Deep intuition. Intuition is a powerful means of divine communication. The inner voice, often called deep intuition, is one way God guides and alerts us about situations. When you feel a strong sense or instinct that something is right or wrong, it is likely the manifestation of God's voice in your life. But how can I distinguish God's voice from my own mind? Distinguishing God's voice from your own thoughts can be challenging. A helpful way to do this is to ask yourself whether the message you are receiving aligns with spiritual principles and positive values. God's voice usually promotes love, kindness, peace, and justice. 2. Synchronicities. Synchronicities are seemingly coincidental events that carry deep meaning in our lives. When you notice unusual things happening around you, such as meeting certain people or receiving messages related to a specific situation, it may be a sign that God is speaking to you. Be open to these moments of divine alignment and consider them as special messages. Can I receive divine messages even if I am not a religious person? Yes, regardless of your religious affiliation, God can communicate with you. The divine transcends religious boundaries and is present in all cultures and beliefs. Be open and receptive to divine signs, no matter your spiritual practice. 3. Answers to prayers. God hears all our prayers and can respond in different ways. Pay attention to the answers you receive, even if they are not exactly what you expected. Sometimes, God's answers come through unexpected events, advice from others, or even a deep sense of inner peace. Stay open and receptive to recognizing divine responses in your life. How can I strengthen my connection with God to receive his messages more clearly? Strengthening your connection with God requires dedication and practice. Set aside daily time for prayer and meditation. Seek a spiritual community that supports your growth, and cultivate awareness of his presence in your life. The more you tune into the divine, the more clearly you will hear God's voice. 4. Revelation through God's Word. God's Word, whether found in sacred scriptures or spiritual texts, is a rich source of guidance and divine wisdom. As you read the scriptures, you may come across passages that deeply resonate with your current situation or questions. These words can bring clarity and direction, serving as confirmation that God is speaking to you. 5. Dreams and visions. Dreams and visions can be powerful channels through which God communicates with us. Sometimes, God uses these nighttime experiences to convey important messages, symbols, or even revelations about the future. Pay attention to your dreams, and if possible, keep a dream journal to identify recurring patterns or themes that might be related to divine messages. What should I do if I receive a message from God that I don't like or don't agree with? Receiving a message from God that goes against your desires or expectations can be challenging. It's important to remember that we don't always fully understand the divine plan. Keep in mind that God sees the bigger picture and is working for your greater good. Pray for guidance and wisdom to make the right decisions on your journey. 6. Signs in nature. Nature is a reflection of the divine, and God often uses its elements to speak to us. Observe the signs and symbols you encounter in nature. It could be a colorful butterfly crossing your path, a rainbow after a heavy rain, or even the calming sound of a waterfall. These moments of connection with nature can be a subtle way through which God is communicating with you. What if I don't recognize any signs or messages from God in my life? If you don't recognize any signs from God in your life, don't despair. Sometimes it takes time to develop spiritual sensitivity. Keep seeking a deeper connection with the divine through prayer, meditation, and reflection. Patience and persistence are key. 7. Wise counsel. God often places people in our lives to guide us and provide divine wisdom. These spiritual mentors may appear as teachers, counselors, or even close friends. Be open to receiving advice and guidance from those who have a deep spiritual connection. They can be a valuable instrument in helping you discern God's voice in your life. 8. Feeling of peace and comfort. When God is speaking to you, you may experience a profound sense of peace and inner comfort. This feeling of tranquility and serenity is an indication that you are aligned with the divine will. When faced with important decisions, take into account the peace you feel. It may be a sign that God is guiding your steps. 9. Coincidences. While we may think of coincidences as mere random occurrences, they can also be interpreted as divine interventions. When unlikely events happen in your life, it may serve as a reminder that God is present and working in your favor. Cherish these moments and see them as small divine touches along your journey. 10. Inner conviction. Finally, one of the most powerful ways to know that God is speaking to you is through a deep inner conviction. When you experience absolute clarity and unwavering certainty about a situation, it may be a clear sign that God is guiding your steps. Trust your intuition and the strength of your inner conviction. What should I do if I have doubts about a message I believe I received from God? If you are unsure about a message, seek additional guidance. Talk to a spiritual mentor, study relevant scriptures, or offer a sincere prayer asking for clarity. God is always willing to help and provide direction when we seek Him with a sincere heart. Discovering how to know if God is speaking to you is an individual and personal journey. Remember that God is always present, desiring to communicate with and guide you in your life. Cultivate an open mind, pay attention to the signs, and be willing to follow divine direction. As you deepen your connection with the divine, you will experience a peace and guidance that will transform your life. Open yourself to divine communication and prepare for a journey of spiritual growth and discovery. Just as there are signs that God is communicating with you, there are also signs that your desires and dreams are about to come true. In the video appearing on the screen, I talk more about this topic and help you live a life more connected to the transcendent and more prosperous.